reflection of lukewarm coffee from the cart on Myrtle, where the pigeons represent the spirits of the hurdles, stitched into the denim of a jacket worn thin, tracing every scar where the city tried to win. The Maximus Island with a busted headlight, cutting through the gloom of a heavy Monday night. I'm reading the graffiti like it's ancient Sanskrit, deciphering the hunger in the way the ink hit. This is the mandate, written in the soot where the asphalt meets the soul at the bottom of the foot. No shortcuts through the alleyways of doubt, finding what is within by shutting the world out. I remember the smell of the laundromat steam, mixing with the scent of a long dead dream. Across from the projects where the bricks start to peel, every single block is a testament to what's real. I'm counting my nickels in a plastic cup, watching the crane pull another tower up, but the foundation is hollow, the mortar is dry. There's a lack of conviction in the local sky. I'm stepping over puddles of grease and regret, paying off a debt I haven't even made yet. It's the geometry of survival, the math of the street, finding the harmony in the sound of the heat. Now the sun is sinking like a leaden coin into the pocket where the river and the harbor join. I'm standing on the roof with a bird's eye view, thinking about the many and the heavy-hearted few. The architecture screams but the people stay mute, burying the truth underneath the business suit. I'm digging for the marrow in the bone of the day, waiting for the silence to have its final say. Nothing but the hum of the transformer box, nothing but the turning of the heavy branch locks. Just a mandate, just a mandate. Broken plates in the sink of a studio flat, wondering where the grace of the morning is at. The radiator's hissing like a serpent in the dark, leaving every morning with a jagged little mark. I'm staring at the ceiling, tracing lines in the plaster, moving through the minutes like a runaway master. My hands are stained with the ink of the ledger, seeking out a balance that is harder to measure. It's cracked porcelain, fragile and cold, refusing to be bought, refusing to be sold. Just a fine line between the shine and the break, counting every breath for the spirit's sake. I saw a man selling watches on a velvet tray, claiming he could stop the leaking of the day, but the gears were rusted and the glass was scarred. Life is a struggle when the ground is this hard. I'm thinking about the ancestors, the weight of the name, how we're all just players in a rigged little game. I'm lighting a candle in a jar of cheap glass, watching the ghosts of the neighborhood pass. They're walking through walls of indifference and greed, sowing the silence like a poisonous seed. But I'm looking for the fracture where the light gets in, peeling back the layers of the original sin. I'm walking past the deli where the light is too bright, refracting the hunger of the middle of the night. There's a hole in my pocket where the logic used to be, searching for the truth in the world I can't see. The porcelain is chipping but the clay is still strong. I've been carrying this vessel for way too long. I'm putting it down on the altar of the curve, waiting for the spirit to provide the right verb. Cracking, breaking, becoming something else. Cracked porcelain. Yeah. Mind the gap between the truth and the fiction. Mind the gap, mind the mind the gap between the truth and the fiction. Swaying on the strap of the 4-train express, trying to find a blessing in the structural mess. The fluorescent flicker is a strobe for the weary, making every face look suspicious and dreary. I'm reading the Subway Sun from 82, thinking about the things that we all used to do before the signal was jammed and the wires were crossed, before we realized exactly what we lost. This is the pulpit, the screech of the rail, a sermon for the people who are destined to fail, unless they find the frequency inside the noise, restoring the balance and the internal poise. There's a preacher in the corner with the megaphone voice, telling us the fire is the only other choice. But I see the embers in the eyes of the kid, regretting the things that his father never did. We're hurtling through tunnels carved in the rock, ignoring the ticking of the biological clock. I'm tracing the map with a callous thumb, feeling the rhythm of the city go numb. It's a steel sanctuary, a mobile cathedral, moving the thread through the eye of the needle. I'm preaching to the silence in the back of my head, remembering the words that the prophets never said. We pull into union and the doors slide wide, letting in the pressure of the world outside. I'm staying on the bench until the very last stop, waiting for the heavy iron curtain to drop. The tracks are the scriptures, the sparks of the grace, written on the features of a tired human face. I'm stepping off the platform into the blue, knowing that the sermon is finally through. Next stop, nowhere. Next stop, everywhere. Next stop, everywhere. The pulpit is closed. I found a leather jacket at the shop on Grand. Still had a receipt from a different land. 1994, a pack of gum and a light. Somebody was headed for a very long night. I wonder if the karma is stitched into the hide, if I'm wearing the sorrow with the person inside. I'm checking the pockets for a sign or a clue, finding nothing but a nickel and a button or two. We're thrifting for karma in a bin of old clothes, paying for the secrets that nobody knows. One man's trash is another man's debt, living in a cycle we haven't broken yet. I walked past the brownstone with the boarded up door, where they used to sell the spirit by the pound at the store. Now it's all glass and the rent is a crime, and nobody has a single second of time. I'm wearing a sweater from a dead man's chest, trying to put the ghost of his hunger to rest. It's a hand-me-down world, a second-hand soul, trying to make a fragment feel like a whole. I see the same faces in the racks of the coats, looking for the anchors for their sinking boats. We're all just recycling the pain and the pride, with nowhere left for the spirit to hide. I'm standing at the register counting my bills, thinking about the valley and the height of the hills. The lady at the counter has a map in her eyes of every single place where the memory dies. I'm taking my bundle and I'm heading for home, writing out a testament in a dusty old tome. Karma is a fabric that we weave as we go, but the origin of the thread is something we'll never know. Fits like a glove, heavy as lead. Drifting karma, drifting karma. Yeah. I'm sitting on the fire escape, watching the rain wash away the salt and the lingering stain of a day spent chasing a phantom of gold in a city where the truth is never really told. The Knickerbocker wind is a cold little blade, cutting through the promises that I never made. I'm humming a song for the lost and the found, keeping my ear to the vibrations of the ground. These are the songs from the avenue of ash, where the spirit is traded for a handful of cash. But the melody is sacred, the rhythm is deep, finding the secrets that the buildings keep. I saw a hawk perched on a telephone wire, looking down at the world with a heart full of fire. He doesn't care about the sirens or the noise, he's got that ancient predatory poise. I'm trying to find that same kind of peace in the neighborhood where the tensions never cease. I'm writing my verses on the back of a bill, standing on the edge of a sovereign will. The psalms are the echoes of the feet on the slate of the people who were tired of the hand of fate. I'm lifting my voice to the darkening sky, asking for a reason, not just a why. Now the streetlights are humming their electric song, and I've been out here for far too long. My hands are cold but my spirit is warm, finding the center in the heart of the storm. Knickerbocker Avenue is a holy place if you know how to look at the stranger's face. I'm closing my eyes and I'm breathing it in. The Psalms of the struggle, the original spin. Amen to the hustle, amen to the grind. Knickerbocker Psalms, Knickerbocker Psalms. Yo, there's a bridge made of iron and a history of rust, turning every memory into a pile of dust. But the structure is holding, the rivets are tight, holding up the weight of the coming of the night. I'm walking the beams with a heavy set heart, wondering when the healing is supposed to start. I got grease on my collar and dirt in my nails, living out a story that the system curtails. It's rust and resurrection, the cycle of the steel, finding out exactly how the spirit is supposed to feel when the oxidation stops and the shine begins to show in the place where the shadows are the only things that grow. I found a wrench in the weeds by the yard, back when the life was exceptionally hard. I used it to loosen the bolts on my mind, leaving all the heavy machinery behind. I'm building a temple out of scrap and debris, trying to set the better part of my soul free. I'm welding the pieces of a broken vision, making a choice with surgical precision. The resurrection isn't a flash in the sky, it's the slow steady work of a man who won't die. It's the polish on the chrome and the oil in the gear, it's the sound of the courage overcoming the fear. I'm standing in the yard where the old trains sleep. Promises of things that are harder to keep, but I'm waking them up with a spark and a flame, calling every ghost by its original name. The rust is falling off in the shower of red. I'm listening to the words that the metal just said. We are stronger for the wear, we are better for the break. I'm taking every lesson for the future's sake. Rise up from the pile, 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 pile. Shine through the grime, 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 grime. Rust and resurrection. Rust and resurrection. Yeah. Yeah. The incense is burning in the chip clay bowl, trying to find the frequency of a long lost soul. We're sitting in the parlor of the house on the hill, where the air is heavy and the clocks are all still. The floorboards are groaning under the weight of the years, soaking up the laughter in the centuries of tears. I'm calling on the builders, the men with the stone, trying to find a logic I can call my own. It's a brownstone seance, a talk with the wall, waiting for the spirit of the hallway to call. There's a message in the mortar, a secret in the wood, understanding things that I never thought I could. I saw a face in the grain of the mahogany door, reminding me of someone I haven't seen in a score of years spent wandering the avenues of doubt, finding what the mystery was really all about. We're holding hands in the dark, feeling the hum, waiting for the answers of the ancestors to come. They're talking about the rent and the price of the bread, about the simple things that the living often dread. It's not all cosmic, it's not all deep, it's about the promises that we failed to keep. It's about the neighborhood and the way that it changed, about the way the destiny was slowly rearranged. Now the candle is flickering, the light is getting low, and there's nowhere else for the spirit to go but back into the bricks and the dust in the air, leaving us alone in the middle of the prayer. I'm opening the window to let out the smoke, thinking about the words that the silence just spoke. The house is just a body, the city is a ghost. I'm pouring out a glass for the heavenly host.
Stay for a while,
listen to the walls.
brownstone seance,
Brownstone seance.
brownstone seance.
Yeah. I was standing by the entrance of the A train line, trying to make $1 out of 99 cents in a dream in a pocket full of lint. Looking for the sparkle in the sidewalks glint. The cops are on the corner, looking for a reason to call the actor breathing a crime over treason. But I got my alibi, I got my defense built out of the logic of the common sense. It's the floating alibi, the story of the block, watching for the movement of the heavy iron clock. I wasn't even there, I was somewhere in the mind, leaving all the evidence of the struggle behind. I saw a man in a trench coat, looking for a light, disappearing slowly into the middle of the night. He left a trail of ashes in the memory of smoke, like he was the punchline of a very cruel joke. I'm keeping my head down, moving with the crowd, thinking about the things that we aren't allowed to say in the presence of the power in the gold, in the city where the secrets are the only things sold. I'm checking the reflection in the window of the bank, watching my position in the middle of the rank. I'm a ghost on the avenue, a shadow on the wall, waiting for the heavy hand of justice to fall. Now the sirens are screaming in the distance somewhere, and there's a heavy tension in the midnight air. But I'm already gone, I'm a mile away, preparing for the labor of the coming of the day. The Fulton alibi is a masterpiece of art, written on the tablet of a very heavy heart. I'm crossing the street and I'm losing the trail, inside the world where the spirit is for sale. You didn't see nothing, I wasn't there. The Fulton alibi, the Fulton alibi. Yeah. I'm looking at the world through obsidian glass, watching all the beauty and the ugliness pass. It's a dark reflection, a smoky little view of the things we did and the things we didn't do. The skyscrapers are needles in the arm of the sky, injecting all the poisons of a very big lie. I'm standing on the corner of the void in the street, feeling the vibration of the obsidian beat. It's obsidian glass, smooth and black. There's no way you're turning or going back. Once you see the truth in the heart of the stone, you realize you're better off standing alone. I saw a crack in the surface of the morning light, a little bit of static in the middle of the night. I used it as a mirror to examine the soul, to see if the pieces were becoming a whole. I'm cutting through the fabric of the common belief, seeking out the permanent and the sacred relief from the noise of the traffic and the weight of the rain, from the slow, steady pulsing of the urbanized pain. I'm sharpening my vision on the edge of the dark, waiting for the fire to ignite from the spark. It's a volcanic vision, a heavy set truth forged in the fire of a misspent youth. Now the glass is starting to shatter and break, and I'm waking up for the spirit's sake. I'm stepping through the shards with a barefoot stride, with nowhere left for the ego to hide. The obsidian is falling like a heavy black snow, and I'm finally ready for the secret to show that the light is the shadow and the shadow is the light, and everything is perfect in the middle of the night. Break the glass, glass, glass. See the soul, soul, soul. Obsidian glass, glass, glass. Obsidian glass, glass, glass. Let's fly alchemy. Let's fly alchemy. I'm turning lead into gold in the basement on gates, while the rest of the world is just tempting the fates. I got a beaker full of sweat and the vial of tears, distilling the essence of the neighborhood fears. The mortar and the pestle are the rhythm and the rhyme, grinding down the heavy-handed pressure of the time. I'm mixing up a potion for the broken and the brave, something that the spirit is beginning to crave. Is Bed-Stuy alchemy, the magic of the block, finding all the keys to the heavy iron lock, turning all the struggle into something divine, watching how the spirit is starting to shine. I saw an old man stirring a pot on the stove, looking for the treasure in the hidden little cove. He told me that the gold isn't something you find, it's something you build in the back of the mind. So I'm heating up the furnace with the fire of the soul, trying to make the fragments of the story a whole. I'm balancing the sulfur and the mercury and salt, finding all the beauty in the middle of the fall. It's a chemical reaction, a spiritual change, making all the ordinary things look strange. I'm a scientist to struggle, a master of the art, writing out the formula for a heavy set heart. Now the mixture is bubbling, the light is turning blue, and I'm finally seeing what I'm supposed to do. I'm pouring out the liquid on the concrete floor, waiting for the spirit to open up the door. The letters disappearing, the gold is taking hold in the story that is ancient and the story that is bold. I'm an alchemist of Brooklyn, the wizard of the street, finding all the harmony in the sound of the heat.
Transmute the pain.
Let's die alchemy.
Keep the gold, 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 gold.
Let's die alchemy. Let's die alchemy.
Yeah. It's 6 in the morning and the sky is a bruise. Yeah. I'm looking for a reason I can afford to lose. Yeah. I got cold brew in the mug and cognac in the glass, watching all the early morning laborers pass. The caffeine is a spark, the liquor is a damp, trying to keep the focus of the internal lamp. I'm sitting at the table with the notebook and a pen, doing all the heavy-hearted math over again. Yeah. It's cold brew and cognac, the bitter and the sweet, finding all the rhythm in the middle of the beat. A little bit of energy, a little bit of haze, trying to navigate the middle of the maze. I saw a woman walking with a heavy setback, looking like a spirit was starting to sag. I wanted to tell her that the morning is a gift, but I didn't have the strength for the emotional lift. So I'm sitting in the silence, listening to the hum, waiting for the better part of the day to come. I'm mixing up the logic like a bartender or so, trying to make the half measures feel like a whole. It's a chemical balance, a spiritual tightrope, walking on the edge of a very thin hope. I'm writing out the verses with a steady set hand in a city that is built on a mountain of sand. Yeah. Now the sun is finally breaking through the gray, and I'm getting ready for the labor of the day. The mug is empty and the glass is dry, and there's a little bit of color in the local sky. I'm stepping out the door with the jitter and the blur, thinking about the things that used to be and the things that were. It's cold brew and cognac, the engine and the brake. I'm taking every moment for the future's sake. Stay away, stay numb, keep moving. Cold brew and cognac.
I'm waiting for the G train that goes to the line, trying to make a reason out of 29 minutes of silence on the platform of cold, in a story that has already been mostly told. The tiles are cracked and the posters are torn, looking like the places where the spirits are born. I'm listening to the hum of the third rail's breath, waiting for a life that is better than death. It's the G train ghost, the flicker in the dark, looking for the light in a very small spark. It never comes on time, it never comes at all, waiting for the spirit of the tunnel to call. I saw a man sleeping on a bench made of wood, living out a life that he never thought he could. He was dreaming of a city where the trains always run, where everybody's equal in the heat of the sun. But he woke up to the screech and the smell of the brake, to the heavy-hearted pressure of a big mistake. I'm looking at the signal, waiting for the green, thinking about the things that I haven't even seen. We're all just ghosts in the transit of pain,
trying to find a shelter from the calming of the brain. And I'm writing my name on the wall with the stone, in the place where the silence is the only thing known. Now the headlights are appearing like two yellow eyes in the tunnel that is full of the neighborhood lies. The doors open up with the groan and the sigh, and I'm stepping on the carriage with the look in my eye. I'm riding through the darkness to Brooklyn below, with nowhere left for the spirit to go. But deeper into history, deeper in the grit, until the final candle is eventually lit. Mind the doors, mind the gap. The ghost is here, the G train goes. Yeah. Dum dum dum. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I found a piece of parchment blowing down the street, tangled in the rhythm of the walking feet. It was covered in a script that I couldn't quite read, about the origin of the spirit and the original seed. I chased it for a block past the deli and the gym, until I caught it on the fence by a very thin rim. I took it to the light of the laundromat sign, trying to make the message and the meaning align. It's parchment on the pavement, the secret in the dust, finding out exactly who the spirit can trust. A message from the ether, a letter from the void, trying to keep the logic of the soul undestroyed. I saw a poet sitting on the milk crate of blue, writing out the things that he knew to be true. He said the city is a book with 1,000 pages, written by the fools and the prophets and the sages. Every single block is a paragraph of pain, every single gutter is a sentence of the rain. I'm adding my own lines to the margin of the day, waiting for the wind to carry them away. I'm a scribe of the sidewalk, a writer of the grit, keeping all the candles of the memory lit. I'm looking for the ink and the grease and the oil, finding all the beauty in the middle of the toil. Now the parchment is starting to crumble in my hand, like it was never meant for the solidness of land. It's turning into ash and it's turning into air, leaving me with nothing but the heavy set prayer. I'm walking home slow with the ghost in my head, thinking about the words that the parchment just said. The world is just a story, the spirit is the ink. I'm standing on the edge of the emotional brink. Read the signs, write the truth. Parchment on the pavement, parchment on the pavement. Yeah. 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 I'm leaning on the railing of the house on the end, talking to the spirit of a long lost friend. The dialect of the stoop is a complex thing, like the sound of a bird with a broken little wing. It's about the posture and the way you hold a cup, about the way you look when the world is looking up. I'm listening to the elders, the men with the canes, talking about the history and the centuries of reigns. It's the dialect of the stoop, the language of the ground, finding all the wisdom in the middle of the sound. A little bit of slang, a little bit of truth, forged in the fire of a misspent youth. Yeah, I saw a kid bouncing the ball against the wall, waiting for the shadow of the evening to fall. He had a rhythm in his step and a light in his eye that I haven't seen since the days went by. I wanted to tell him that the stoop is a throne in the kingdom that is better than the ones that are known. But he already knew, he was already there, with a heart full of hope and a head full of air. We're all just translating the struggle into song, in a place where the minutes are 100 miles long. I'm sitting on the concrete, feeling the hum, waiting for the better part of the future to come. Now the street lights are coming on one by one, and the labor of the day is finally done. I'm stepping off the stoop and I'm heading for the door, thinking about the things that I've seen on the floor. The dialect is sacred, the conversation is deep, finding all the secrets that the neighborhood keeps. I'm a student of the sidewalk, a master of the gate, waiting for the hand of the heavy set fate. Keep it real, talk, talk, dialect of the stoop. intellect of the stoop. I'm lighting a cigarette on the corner of the park, watching all the shadows getting ready for the dark. It's tobacco and theology, the smoke and the word. Thinking about the things that I haven't even heard. The smoke is a ladder, a spiraling stairs, taking all the weight of the middle-aged cares. I'm reading the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita, trying to find the logic that is a little bit sweeter. It's tobacco and theology, the bitter and the light, trying to find the reason in the middle of the night. A little bit of ash, a little bit of grace, written on the features of a tired human face. I saw a man preaching from a crate made of wood, saying that the spirit is the only thing good. But he had a cigar in the corner of his mouth, and a compass that was pointing to the east and the south. I'm mixing up the ritual, the holy and the profane, trying to find a shelter from the coming of the rain. I'm a student of the ember, a master of the flame, calling every spirit by its original name. We're all just burning down to a pile of dust in a world where the metal is beginning to rust. I'm looking for the marrow in the bone of the creed, sowing all the silence like a poisonous seed. Now the cigarette is short and the light is getting low, and there's nowhere else for the spirit to go but back into the air and the soot and the grime, leaving all the pressure of the urbanized time. I'm closing the book and I'm heading for home, writing out the testament in the dusty old tome. Tobacco and theology, the smoke and the soul, trying to make the fragments of the story a whole. Burn it down, build it up. Tobacco and theology, tobacco and theology. I'm writing in the ledger with a heavy set hand, counting all the things that didn't go as planned. It's a record of the losses, a list of the debts, of the broken promises and the lingering regrets. I got a page for the friends who were lost to the street, and a page for the lovers who were bitter and sweet. I'm adding up the totals, the price of the pride in a city where the spirit has nowhere to hide. It's the ledger of losses, the math of the soul, trying to make the fragments of the story a whole. Subtracting the ego, adding the grace, written on the features of a tired human face. I saw a man crying on the steps of the hall, looking like his spirit was about to fall. He had a piece of paper in his calloused hand with the list of the things that he couldn't understand. I wanted to tell him that the loss is a gift, but I didn't have the strength for the emotional lift. So I'm sitting in the silence, listening to the hum, waiting for the better part of the future to come. We're all just balancing the books in the dark, looking for the light in a very small spark. I'm a clerk of the struggle, a master of the debt, living out a story that I haven't told yet. Now the ink is running dry and the page is almost full, and I'm feeling it heavy in the steady set pull of a life that is built on the mountain, the cost of the things that were found and the things that were lost. I'm closing the ledger and I'm putting it away, preparing for the labor of the coming of the day. The ledger of losses is a masterpiece of art, written on the tablet of a very heavy heart. Balance the books, pay the price. The ledger of losses, the ledger of losses.
The sulfur and silk, the rough and the smooth. Looking for a rhythm that could finally soothe the ache in the marrow, the itch in the skin. Tracing every scar where the city tried to win. The air is full of chemicals and memories of old. In a place where the truth is never really told. I'm wearing a suit of the finest of weave, while I'm looking for a reason I can afford to believe. It's sulfur and silk, the fire and the grace. Trying to find the logic in this heavy set place. A little bit of poison, a little bit of charm. Trying to keep the spirit from a permanent harm. A sober man digging in a pile of debris, looking for a treasure that he couldn't quite see. He had a silver shovel and a heart full of lead, thinking about the words that his father never said. I'm mixing up the textures, the hard and the soft, keeping all the heavy-handed visions aloft. I'm a master of contrast, a student of the grain, finding all the beauty in the middle of the pain. We're all just walking on a very thin line between the common struggle and the spirit divine. I'm sharpening my vision on the edge of the street, waiting for the harmony and the sound of the heat. Now the silk is starting to tear in the fray, and the sulfur was washing the color away. But I'm standing my ground with a heavy set stride, with nowhere left for the ego to hide. The contrast is perfect, the balance is right, in the world that is built on the middle of the night. Sulfur and silk, the beginning and the end, waiting for the spirit of the hallway to call again. Feel the burn, 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 burn. Touch the light. Sulfur and silk, sulfur and silk. I'm sitting on the bench at the Atlantic Station, waiting for a train to a different nation, or a different neighborhood, or a different state of a mind that is tired of the hand of fate. The announcements are muffled, the voices are loud, mixing with the pressure of the afternoon crowd. I'm looking at the clock, watching the second hand crawl, thinking about the things that I can't quite recall. It's the Atlantic Terminal Blues, the wait in the side, watching all the people as they're passing you by. A little bit of motion, a little bit of stall, trying to make a reason out of nothing at all. I saw a man singing for a handful of change, looking like his spirit was starting to range outside of the body, outside of the grit, keeping all the candles of the memory lit. I wanted to join him, to lift up my voice, but I didn't have the strength for the emotional choice. So I'm sitting in the silence, listening to the hum, waiting for the better part of the future to come. We're all just commuters in the transit of pain, trying to find a shelter from the coming of the rain. I'm writing my name on the back of a ticket in a place where the logic is a thorny little thicket. Now the train is arriving with the screech and the roar, and I'm heading for the opening of the heavy set door. I'm stepping on the carriage with a look in my eye, knowing that the sermon is finally through. The Atlantic Terminal Blues is a masterpiece of art, written on the tablet of a very heavy heart. I'm crossing the borough and I'm losing the trail, inside a world where the spirit is for sale. All aboard. Next stop, Atlantic Terminal Blue. Atlantic Terminal Blue. We're reaching the end of the long lost road, carrying the weight of a heavy set load. It's the final sacrament, the bread and the wine, finding out the spirit is starting to shine. The city is quiet, the sirens are still, standing on the edge of a sovereign will. I'm breaking the bread with the calloused hand, thinking about the things that I finally understand. It's the final sacrament, the end of the quest, putting all the ghosts of the struggle to rest. A little bit of peace, a little bit of grace, written on the features of a tired human face. I saw a light breaking through the heavy set clouds, reflecting on the features of the quieted crowds. They're looking for a reason to finally let go, to let the better part of the internal show. So I'm lifting the glass to the darkening sky, asking for a reason, not just a why. I'm a master of the ending, a student of the close, finding out exactly how the story goes. We're all just preparing for the final ascent, regretting all the time that we shouldn't have spent on the gold and the power and the heavy set greed, ignoring all the things that the spirit truly need. Now the sun is finally setting for the very last time, and I'm finishing the rhythm and the heavy set rhyme. I'm closing my eyes and I'm breathing it in, the final sacrament, the original spin. The bread is gone and the wine is dry, there's a little bit of color in the local sky. I'm stepping into silence with a heart full of light, knowing that the world is finally right. It is finished. It is done. The final sacrament. The final sacrament. Yeah. 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 I'm walking down Nostrand with a bag on my back, following the rhythm of the heavy set track. It's the exodus, the leaving of the old, in a story that is finally starting to unfold. The brownstones are leaning like they're saying goodbye, underneath the pressure of the darkening sky. I'm looking for a harbor, a place to belong, inside of a world that is 100 miles long. It's the Nostrand exodus to walk into the light, leaving all the shadows of the middle of the night. A little bit of fear, a little bit of hope, trying to find a way that the spirit can cope. I saw a man standing on the corner of the block, watching for the movement of the heavy iron clock. He said the borough is a body, the spirit is the air, and the only thing that matters is the weight of the prayer. So I'm taking my leave of the struggle and the grit, keeping all the candles of the memory lit. I'm a traveler of Brooklyn, a student of the way, waiting for the labor of the coming of the day. We're all just migrating to a different state of a mind that is tired of the hand of fate. I'm writing my name on the pavement in chalk, thinking about the people who would take the same walk. Now the city is fading in the distance behind, and I'm finally finding what I wanted to find. It's a quieted spirit, a steady set heart, waiting for the better part of the future to start. The exodus is over, the journey is through, and I'm finally seeing what I'm supposed to do. I'm stepping into silence with a look in my eye, knowing that the sermon is finally through. Keep moving, don't look back. Nostrand exodus, Nostrand.